A family lay dead in the sudden blizzard, and when the man approached one of the girls and lifted her head, he found her skin soft and elastic. Clearly, she hadn't frozen to death. Just 2 days earlier, a massive snowstorm had swept through Argentina, instantly killing anyone who touched the snow. All electronic devices had failed. Only those who happened to be indoors survived, and behind this blizzard lay a terrifying truth. This wasn't a natural disaster, but an alien conspiracy. That day, some old friends were playing cards when the power suddenly cut out and everyone's phones died at the same time. Then a loud crash came from outside as a car wrecked, and they saw what looked like snow falling even though it was summer, which everyone found unbelievable. As Paul was about to go outside to help, an old man stopped him, saying he'd seen news about a power plant fire recently, and these snow-like particles might be asbestos, suggesting the people outside had probably been poisoned by inhaling it. Hearing this, Paul immediately directed everyone to seal any drafty spots in the house with tape. Someone noticed lights coming on in Paul's neighbor's house. Then the neighbor pulled up the blinds, and they frantically shouted warnings not to open the window, but the neighbor misunderstood and opened it anyway, only to slump motionless over the windowsill the next second, followed by his wife, who rushed over to check and instantly collapsed at the window too. It seemed skin contact with the snow meant death, and this scene made Matt anxious since he couldn't reach his wife and insisted on going home to check. Paul suggested making a protective suit, but lacking proper materials, they could only dress Matt in several waterproof jackets with plastic bags over his feet, sealing the cuffs and pant legs with tape. And finally, Paul gave Matt an old gas mask, hoping it might offer some protection against the asbestos outside. Once fully suited up, Matt nervously headed outside and found himself unharmed, so apparently the mask and clothing worked. And when he stepped on the white ground, he realized this wasn't asbestos at all, but actual snow. He said goodbye to his friends watching from the window and headed toward home. The city had become an apocalypse with bodies everywhere. Most people hadn't figured out what was happening before the deadly snowflakes killed them, and just as Matt was feeling numb, a sharp whistle suddenly pierced the air. Matt looked back puzzled and saw a soldier standing in the snow, silently watching him, and when he tried to make out the figure's face, the person vanished without a trace. Matt quickly realized he was hallucinating and didn't dare hesitate, hurrying to pull out his map to confirm his location, and to get home faster, he began following the railroad tracks. But soon a train appeared that made Matt slow down. The horrific scene before him was shocking. People who'd tried to escape lay scattered outside the train. Lightly dressed, they'd attempted to flee, but all fell to the deadly snowflakes, and just as Matt was about to leave, knocking sounds came from behind. These were the few survivors on the train, now desperately pounding on the windows hoping for Matt's help. After hesitating, Matt carefully entered from the other end of the car and learned these people had been trapped here for 6 hours, their thin clothes offering no protection against the bitter cold. They could only huddle in the cramped car for warmth, while those who hadn't hidden in time became corpses in the aisle the moment the doors opened. Matt knew without heating supplies, these people might freeze to death before ever touching the snow, but he was powerless to help beyond pulling a large bottle of water from his backpack and tossing it over, hoping it would help them last a bit longer. In this apocalyptic world, this was all Matt could do. Hours later, Matt finally reached his apartment building and found it had been damaged too. The neighbor's dog lay dead in the lobby. Its owner had wrapped it in plastic bags and put a helmet on its head, but it still hadn't survived the disaster. He returned to his apartment to find the door pried open and the place ransacked, which made his heart sink instantly. Matt frantically searched for his wife and daughter, but found no sign of them, then suddenly heard rummaging sounds from the living room. Matt rushed over and angrily grabbed the person by the collar, demanding to know where his wife was. But to his disappointment, the man was just searching for food and knew nothing else. Neighbors heard the commotion and came to check, but just as Matt let go, everyone was shocked to see snow had touched the back of his hand. Matt touched the snow in disbelief, unable to understand why he hadn't died.